Today is July the 31st, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host, and this is a show that has the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today, where is she? Oh, there she is. Today, we have our service hero, Kim O'Neill. Yes, I was just on Kim's show, actually kicking off a special series of shows that she's doing for the second half of the year 2020. And we're going to talk about that. But before that, I want to brag about this woman. I got to know her because we both were serving. We both volunteered at an event and we got to serve together. And at that very moment in time, I just knew that this woman was going to be in my life for the rest of my life because she is so amazing and wonderful and sweet and kind and so much more. What she does is she is actually helping people to be able to tap into their better selves and to understand so much more than what we see with our eyes, to understand that there is so much more that we can find in our world and in our lives within that world. And she does it with unbelievable energy and a smile that is just like, you see it. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us, Kim.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. Tamara, I just love you. And I completely agree. When I first met you, I was like, oh my goodness, this woman is amazing. And I'm so glad to see you doing what you're doing and inspiring and soaring and all of that. So anyway, thank you. The feeling is mutual. And I'm so happy to be here. It's such an honor to be on the Service Heroes show with Tamara Hunter. So thank you.
Well, thank you. This is fun. And may I just say, okay, this woman, Helene Wilson, she is one of the ambassadors, actually the first ambassador of the chat. She is one of my buddies from Chemo Buddies for Life. And tonight is a big night within our chat for Helene and in our closed group. So that's all I'm going to say, but I am so excited for Helene. We have so many amazing things happening within the Chemo Buddies for Life community. And I don't really go too deep into it very often, but when there's a shout out, I'm going to say, and yes, she's pretty funny. She's our humor. We have humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love. And Helene is one of the humorous ones. She is always looking for a purple pen. It's like, where's Waldo with a purple pen kind of thing, you know? And it's funny. And in fact, I've been going on these walks in the morning, and there's all these cottontail bunnies that are in my area, and she named them. They all have one name. Susie. So I'm on a Susie hunt now every morning, and I turn the phone around every time for a Susie hunt, and so a Susie sighting, and she keeps us going. So,
and is the purple pen a literal purple pen, or does it represent something else she's looking for?
We don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll figure that out tonight. We've been wondering, but as so many people now at the Service Heroes show, because she comes and she is like an ambassador here for Service Heroes also, and welcomes people. And then, people that come into the closed group, and she starts talking about the purple pens, and they're like, oh, I know Helene. I remember her from the Service Hero
show. Thank you to Helene. Helene is an excellent ambassador of Chemo Buddies. She also welcomed and greeted me on a recent show of yours that I was also watching. So you're awesome, Helene. And good luck tonight with whatever is happening in the chat.
Yeah, and what takes place in the chat stays in the chat. And so that's why we don't go much further than that. But there's kind of exciting. Everybody, there's this buzz going on, which, and that goes along into what you do, because I want to actually bring up an image from the other day, screenshot that I grabbed, and I had so much fun on your Rise and Shine Creating 2020 Vision show. And guys, I mean, does she not have the coolest branding? I'm always just like bragging about your branding. I love the colors. I love it all. And so let's talk about this. Rise and Shine, Creating 2020 Vision.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tamara. Rise and Shine, Creating 2020 Vision. It's really an extension of my original podcast live show called Every Day is a New Day. And so that's why you see both of those on the graphic there. Every Day is a New Day is a typical interview style show. I talk to guests. It's inspiring. We go deep, all of that stuff. And earlier this year, it was April 2020, I just was like, we got to do something more. What are we going to do? Something more, a little different. I was really in this space of wanting to interact even more with the audience. I always try to do that. That's important to me on the regular shows, but I wanted more of that. And so I came up with this idea that really excited me. And it was about rise and shine. Every day is a new day. And just thinking about, how can I make this fun? And
you made it fun.
and thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And so we're doing it again. And it's a little different this time around with Creating 2020 Vision. But we're going to do it for the rest of the year, twice a week, live shows over on the Every Day is a New Day show and coaching page.
Okay, she gave the jig is up. Okay, she's the one that said it, so I'm gonna go there. She's like, Kim, you are welcome to come to the Chemo Buddies for Life community tonight and see me. So tonight, see, TGIF is our kind of like party night in our group. And what we've started to do is invite our buddies within the community to come online, either via voice or even via video. And Helene has been on via voice quite a few times on the public side and inside the community. However, she has never come on video. And this is going to be her very, very first time on video. And so she's inviting you in. I mean, seriously, I'm going to give her a volunteer, give her more responsibilities here soon, because she is a promotion as a volunteer, because she's not ordering completely, but she's inviting very strongly different people that she wants on with her, and or coordinating this whole thing. I'm like, oh, you've got skills.
If I'm allowed to be in there, I would be honored to be in there. And absolutely, I would love to, Helene. So thank you for that. And kudos to you for taking it to that next step and saying you're going to go live on video. That is really awesome.
Yes. Well, we will invite you in. Absolutely. You are definitely now a buddy. Okay. And Sherry McQueen, one of our senior ambassadors, is here with us. Love you. And Kim, you are welcome. My pleasure. Love it. I love it.
Honored.
And Sherry is saying, hi, Kim. So love the show. She is a fan. She's actually talked about it. Yeah. Can't wait for our call next week. Oh, cool. Well, there you go. I love it.
She was a Monday's recipient of the free virtual reality call. We're going to enhance her vision for 2020 next week. I'm really excited about that, Sherry.
See, this is what's fun. I'm loving this, guys. Okay, so this is what is really cool about having, different show hosts, if you will, that play off of each other, and then everybody that comes and plays can play in multiple different, sandboxes, if you will, and show boxes, and just this is what the year 2020 to me. Kim, I don't know about you, but you can look at 2020 and what's happening right now in a variety of different ways. You can go one way or you can go another way. And we both are going, the same way, in that, there's this way of being able to deal with it and work through it. and then have some fun too, self-discovery, and understand that we're all in this together, right?
We absolutely are. I want to add on to that, because here's something I notice, and I'm not going to go too deep, but I do think about this periodically. So I see a lot of people going through a lot of grief, a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension. People are having, spiritual awakenings. They're having rebirth experiences. I mean, it runs the gamut of really deep, heavy emotions, unearthing stuff that they might be ready to say, I'm done with this. No longer. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And then finding that courage and that bravery to stand up for themselves and say, you know what, I'm going to move in this direction next. I'm going to, make this dream I've always had happen now. And I'm going to figure out what that means. I'm going to be open to it more than maybe I have in the past. And what I want to say about that is I think it's so important to be in the process where you are in the process. And so there's no shame about where you are. We all go through, from this end of the spectrum to that end of the spectrum, and allow yourself to be there. Last year in 2019 was actually, an unexpectedly traumatic year for me. And it was incredibly heavy and dark. And I had to do a lot of healing then and even in the early part of 2020. And I'm so grateful to be able to, as I've been working out of that and going, it's also for me too. And I'm ready to say, we're enough of that. We're doing even more of what Kim's been wanting to do and moving in that direction. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I see a lot of other people doing. And I want to say, for anybody who's on anywhere in that spectrum, just know that wherever you are in this moment is not where you're going to always be. There's something else even better after that. And it's okay if you're not feeling so great. And it's okay if you're already in that space where you're you're saying, I don't want to be in that space anymore. And now I'm choosing something that, feels even better. So I hope that makes sense. It does.
It does.
And so that's what I see happening for all of us. And we're all in different places of it, and it's all okay. And that's.
And I love that it's all okay, because that right there, I think, is one of the take home aha, moments, because there's so many people that are having a tendency to sometimes beat themselves up because
I get it.
And we're in a very unique period of time. Not that our world hasn't seen, quote unquote, something like this before, but it didn't look like this then, because we didn't have streaming media, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the awakenings that we have, we didn't understand cellular, makeup. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on. So yes, I am a student of history. Absolutely. However, this is an unprecedented time.
It really is. It really is. I think the key to really make the most use of this time and to really benefit from what am I learning? What am I teaching? What is this situation teaching me, is to make sure that you're being present with it as much as you can, which can be really hard if you're in that space of going, I don't want this. Who wants to be who wants to be present with the chaos? Who wants to be present with feeling depressed? So I mean, there's so many different nuances of it. The point I'm trying to make is to not make yourself wrong for whatever you're feeling as you're going through this. Don't force yourself to be in a place that you aren't naturally. It's, you can accept and surrender and allow and feel, and then make that choice to redirect and say, okay, this might be what I'm feeling today. And I know I'm moving in the direction of feeling better. I'm moving in the direction of feeling happier again. I'm moving in the direction of feeling more empowered. And, allow yourself to be in that flow and find things that support you and love on yourself. That's what I love. I mean, I haven't been able to be part of the Chemo Buddies group yet, but that's what I hear every time you talk about it. And seeing
you're coming tonight, Mikey, it's becoming one. In the closed group, come on in. He's a member, and come on in. And if anybody is not a member, membership is, of course, free. It is a nonprofit, and what we are all about is we are a community of buddies. And yes, there is that word chemo in there, chemo buddies for life, but first of all, it doesn't matter what type of treatment someone decides to get involved in if that person has cancer. Yet we support the people that have had, patients, and those people that love and support them. And the truth is, nearly everybody knows someone that's been affected by cancer. That means everybody qualifies, quite honestly. And then we've opened our doors for those that may be feeling isolated and alone, suffering from that isolation, and saying, because of what's happening right now and the changes and not being able to see this person or that because of, whatever, wherever you may be living, you may have different sets of rules. And so we've opened our doors also. So yeah, the Chemo Buddies for Life community. And so yes, party. Yes, we did. Helene has decided to create this be a party. Scooby-Doo needs to run fast. She's a funny one. Let me just tell you, she is. She's fun. And so, just laugh out loud in this talk. And I'm loving this. And then Kara is here. Hello, Kara.
Hi, Kara.
Loving the fact that you're here with us. And then let's see here. I saw a green frog yesterday. Now you'll see. She goes for purple pins, green frogs, all sorts of different, and Susie's, of course. She'll always ask about Susie's. And
okay, I have to say, there's something with the frog, because I actually had a vision of a frog yesterday, and I wondered, I was like, what is this about? Is this going to show up again? And then you just said, Helene just saying that, and then I posted something with a green frog this morning in one of my groups. So there's something with the green frog. Just got to point it out.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I love it. So let's see. Then Kara is saying, yes, Kim, let's soothe ourselves and allow it all to be okay. Yes, absolutely. And I'm loving this. And so, I want to go. I found this on your end, and yet we use this all the time in our organization, all the time. And when you were saying, you could be anywhere in the reality of it, spinning down, spinning up, maybe spinning down and then up, and then, up and then down. Because right now, again, I love the fact, be present in what it is and allow for what that is.
I think the key really is two pieces. Number one, emotions are information. They're information. We can feel like, I don't want to experience this. I sense some grief coming on, or anger, or whatever. I don't want to experience it because it's going to take me down, and this is bad, and I'm not supposed to feel this. It's information. So you can take it deeper and go, okay, what's going on here? What is this teaching me? There's a myriad of ways to look into the emotion. The second thing is having the awareness of, oh, wait, I'm having an emotion that doesn't feel so good, which is indicating that in some way you're out of alignment. Anytime you're not feeling good, there's something about your energy that's just a little out of alignment. It happens to all of us. It's not a bad thing. It happens. And so that having that awareness that our emotions are information also supports us in learning something new about ourselves, learning how we can be impacted by the environment around us, and also empower us in going, okay, I felt that, and now I'm going to choose to, if you choose to, work my way out of it, work my way into a better feeling place, because you deserve that. You have every right to feel better, and you have every right to be where you are. I'm going to even say for however long, you're there. It's none of it has to be right or wrong. So I think that's really key to know about emotions.
Absolutely. And here, one of your sayings, before anyone else can be there for you, make sure that you show up for yourself first. And that goes along with, and then, I always love this, and I grabbed this from your page too. I am good enough. And that right there, with what you're doing for the second half of 2020 and the vision and the rise and shine, and, you are helping people to be, it's about mindset. It's about our vision. It's about so much more, though. And I know that that's why you're doing How many shows, how many weeks are you doing this?
20 weeks and twice a week. So that's 40 shows. And we started July 27th. We're going to be going all the way to December 10th in 2020 here. And yeah, I'm really excited. And Tamara, yes, you're right. It's all about remembering where we have choice. And so, okay, if you've been able to identify, okay, you know what? I have learned from, my 2020 experience, and I'm ready to, redirect my sales. I'm ready to experience something different. I thought 2020 was going to be a great year. What is happening here? And so you want something different. This is in support of generating that new vision, of having that new experience. And so we're talking about vision, mindset, emotions, and taking action in short 30-minute conversations with different guests. We're being playful, having fun. I'm asking, guests to come on and sing or rap as Tamara did.
We guys, that's how I am about singing, and she got me to rap. Yeah, we were rapping. Oh yeah, and yeah, you ready to laugh out loud? Yeah, but it was fun, and that was what this was too. Was that we were able to talk about some real serious stuff, and then how we ourselves, and that we can make a big difference by sharing also that. The fun, the love, and then raising that vibration and being there, because like that saying that we just read, yes, you need to be there for yourself, but there was that component that at some point you will be able to be there for others. And absolutely. I love that piece too, because right now, there are so many that are feeling alone. And oh my goodness, if you live alone and then you're in one of those areas that are still required to stay pretty much at home, and you're by yourself. I was talking with someone yesterday that is a single parent, and that they're not able to get out as much now, and because of the places that they would go, those people are like, well, no, we're distancing ourselves in the fact that we're not letting anyone come. And there's those choices, and again, it's those choices, but it can be really tough when you are feeling that lack of human connection, right?
Absolutely. And the gift in that is there's that invitation to go deeper within and go, okay, what about deeper connection with myself? What about deeper connection with me? What does that mean? What might that look like? And so this can be an excellent opportunity to, if someone doesn't already meditate, to start to go in and do that, to explore all these different resources online, to learn what it means to, to be acquainted with yourself, to be connected with your energy beyond just this physical body that we have, and, and start to learn new things about yourself in those ways. The deeper and deeper I've gone in myself, you get to become your own best friend over time. And it's a beautiful thing where it's not as scary to be alone. It's not as sad to be in your own space, because you actually enjoy being in your own space when you can have that deeper connection with yourself.
Absolutely. And welcome, Isabel. And
so many awesome people here with us. I love it. Oh, Tamara said no. Come on, Tamara.
They want to know if I'm going to sing tonight, and I'm like, well, maybe we'll send you a link, Kim, and you can come on and you can sing, and do the whole, and this is what I appreciate about too, good humor and laughter in truthfully, guys. People are like, wow, you have the best people, and we do, and then they're like, what kind of group is this? Well, we're supporting those people that are affected by cancer, either the patient or those people that love them and support them. They're like, oh, cancer, are you kidding me? And you're having so much fun. And we're like, yeah, because we don't let it define us. We deal with it, and then we don't, and we deal with it square on, but we don't let it define us, and we don't let it. That's why that graphic about going up and the down, and then the other one that you have on yours, we use this one all the time too, is about understanding the frequencies. That's why we talk about it. That's why I talked about it even on your show, because it's something that when we understand this and the beauty of the science, that's what's so cool. This is science. It's proven. And the upper level areas that there can be what people will say miracles, and yet it's miracles within a science base. That's what is so exciting. And so then it's like, yeah, of course we're having fun.
I believe that particular chart is Dr. David Hawkins' scale of consciousness chart. And what I found for myself, there was a time in my life when I didn't really understand what it meant to feel my emotions, to really be present with them. And so what I found is the more and more that I grew into understanding, what I'm feeling, when I'm feeling it, and gosh, where am I feeling in my body? It's really awesome to be able to look at a chart like this, or like the one that you showed earlier, and go, okay, where am I right now? And just get a feel. It's all vibration. So it's if I'm feeling this, oh, I'm at a lower vibration. Oh, if I'm feeling that, I'm at a higher vibration. And so again, it's not about making it right or wrong, but it's knowing where you're vibrating at. Because if you can identify where you're vibrating at, then that's your point of attraction, which means anything else that's vibrating in the realm of that emotion or that energy, you are potentially a match for. You're going to be more likely to have a connection or experience with that. So if you can identify, I might not want to have a connection with something that's like that, then that's also some motivation to say, you know what? Okay, I'm ready to feel and release this, and I do want to kind of work my way up that scale. So it's helpful to know that. Yeah.
It's very helpful. And Kara is saying here, being present with emotions. Yes. Exclamation point and butterfly. Love it. And then Helene is saying, Kim O'Neill, you are welcome to come to chemo. Yes, she is coming. She is going to come, and
I will be there.
And I'm very excited about it. And see what I mean? She's on it. She's on it. I love it. So now you know what you're talking about, because you've been not only podcasting for a while, since you started in
2015
podcasting, and then you started the Kim O'Neill coaching and consulting and such back in 2013.
Yeah. So I started coaching first. I was just so super passionate. Like, I just knew that it was time for me to be working one-on-one with people. And so I started out with interview coaching, helping people prepare for job interviews. A couple of years into that, shortly into that, I was like, I want to go deeper. I want to have some more education and certifications under my belt. So I got a couple of coaching certifications. One of them was law of attraction coaching. And so that's where that information about the emotions and all of that comes in. And then took it more into personal coaching and confidence coaching. And, oftentimes there are elements of healing your past, because to be confident in your present, there might be something in your past that's kind of just like this little thing that's getting in the way of you really being able to step into that space where you own who you are, your amazing, awesome self that you just innately are. And you may or may not have an awareness of that, but you are. And so I love being able to help people get to that space and own that and be that and feel that. So with that said, Tamara, it's so funny. Along that journey, then all of a sudden came, this opportunity to start a show. And I was like, I a little nervous and freaked out by it. And yet I knew it was for me. So it's evolved several times over the years. It wasn't even called Every Day is a New Day when I first started it. When I first started, it was called Perk Up with Kim. And, so, and I love it. So.
Well, and they do evolve. I mean, thank goodness too, because I look back on some of the first shows that I ever did, and oh my goodness, it was like I really believe people were taking bets and starting to show up to see if I could actually ever bring on a guest, because oh my golly, it was like, it was painful. It was painful for me to watch. I'm thinking, oh, people, you are so wonderful that you kept showing up. And then they were like, have you tried this? How about that? And they were coming with solutions, and you cannot help but just want to show up for them because they're showing up for you. And that's how it really kind of, for me, that's how it all really cemented to, like, okay, yes. And it was really about the buddies of why I started with, service heroes. I wanted them to see how many amazing people I was meeting, going out and meeting everyone, that there were so many reasons for them to want to get through this period of time that doesn't define them, but you have to still heal through it. You have to do the work to get through it. And so then to be able to come up with even then tools and inspiration and people that they will want to follow and learn from, and it has just grown from there. And now to have so many service heroes that are there for people to be able to watch and learn from and grow with, it's like what you're doing on your show, and the people that come, and the service hero that you actually you nominated, Keith Leon. Oh my gosh, Leon S. Period. Yes, wonderful man and amazing soul and story, and this is where being a host is like it's getting a gift and having a present to unwrap every single time you have a new show to put on, right?
It is. I agree. And something I want to say is that things become part of our story. They don't have to be the story that define us. They become part of our life story. And so, yeah, I really wanted to say that earlier. And Keith's an excellent example of that. And so are you, Tamara. And I love how you talked about how, your first, when you first started your show, how, you had some hiccups, and I can totally relate to that too. And I think that's part of it, is it's you saying, for anybody out there wanting to start something new, it's saying, okay, I want to start this thing. I may not be so, I may not understand how to do it all, or I may not be so good, or I'm really scared or freaked out. And yet, if that's something you really want to do, choosing to still, this is where you show up for yourself first. If that's something you want, you say, and I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to figure it out. I don't know how I'm going to figure it out, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to grow through it. And so, yes, so I totally relate to that, Tamara, because the same here. It's my first shows, are definitely different from where I'm at today. And there's still room to grow, for sure.
Every single day I'm learning more and more things. How to be lifted up. Come to the show and listen to Tamara and Kim. Well, thank you. That's very sweet, Helene. And Kara is saying, I know, what a wonderful conversation. And Betty, glad you're here with us. Betty, Kim has a beautiful heart and sensitivity towards deaf and hard of hearing, including myself as a deaf coach. I love her shows. She is so awesome. I love it. And Helene Wilson. I love this.
I gotta give a virtual hug to everyone, Tamara.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Virtual hug. Hug.
I love that. Doing it that way, that is so cool. And I will say this, that for Betty, that I am not officially deaf, but I have hard of hearing issues because I had a really bad infection when I was pregnant with my first kid, and I didn't want to take medicine because I thought, oh no, I don't want to introduce it to, and I nearly lost my hearing, number one, nearly, because I let it go too long. And then finally I had to have the medicine, and then he ended up being allergic to penicillin and all derivatives because of it. So what I wanted to avoid, it was like the universe just had its own way of showing up. No matter sometimes, and this is where you thrive too, because you understand, a lot about the universe and cycles and hugs back at you. I love it. I love it. I love it. And hugs back at you. There you go. Back to you. And you understand. Oh, okay, we got a mask going on. There we go. There we go. Okay. You understand like the retrograde, and you understand a lot of this kind of stuff that like I remember that I've tuned in to some of your shows, and it's like, wow, she knows what she's talking about. And
thank you, Tamara. I am still learning. There's more for me to learn. But it is something that I've become more aware of just about how being influenced by the planets. And I never want to claim that something outside of me is taking control over me or impacting me. And yet the more I've gone into understanding my own emotions and how energies around me are impacting me, it's again helpful for awareness purposes. So I, there was a time when I was like, what, retrograde, that doesn't impact me. And then all of a sudden I had an experience where I was like, something shifted. and I notice it more. And so I've been learning, and interesting things. And there's definitely a lot of planetary things and retrogrades happening this year. So I definitely have a lot more to learn, but I think there's a lot of value in learning about the planets and the retrogrades for sure.
Oh, and I will say this, that the energy that is created from a variety of different things, let's just put it that way. When you are working with electronics and putting on shows and having to connect with the internet and the streaming, there's a lot of different pieces behind the scenes, guys, that you may not be aware of. And if anything is like, okay, is it a full moon? Okay. Anybody here? Like, okay, can we get the show going on? It's like all these different components, because and I always will first call the cable company to see if there's a local or a system outage.
Okay.
And then if there's not, then I start going down the list. Okay, what could it be? Because there's some kind of disruption. And I don't know that you feel it, you can feel it. And I am sensitive and a bit of intuitive. And so I do feel things. However, the third party validation of working with actual physical things, like, it's an interesting playground.
I totally get what you're saying, Tamara. It can be helpful once you realize, oh, that's what's going on right now. And the other part, because I get what you're talking about. When I have those things, those little mishaps, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? No, I've got a show to do. We don't have time for.
Exactly. I don't want to get too woo-woo here, but really, sometimes you have to have those discussions.
Yeah, exactly. And so, especially in those moments, that's when I go, okay, so I'm aware there might be something going on, and I am the one who directs my sales. So what am I going to choose to tune into even more right now? I'm going to choose to tune into the intention that this show is going to go incredibly smooth, and that the planets, whatever's going on with them, they're going to, they're doing their thing and I'm doing my thing. I'm standing in my power. And so to me, that's like, bring it all back in. But I think it's really good to have that awareness. It's like, and that's what allows us to get to that place where we can start to have more flow with things. My guest on Thursday, I love this. I love trees. It's one of my logos. And he was talking about, be like a tree with your roots deeply planted into the earth. So you and your energy deeply planted, you might have a little swaying going on, but you are still going to be able to stand firm in who you are and move through it, get through it. And, anyways, I think that's just a really, really good metaphor for what's going on in the world today. So
I love it. I love it. And then one of the images that you have here are greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising up every time we do fall. And right there, I think that says it a lot. And then I grabbed this. Okay. You broke your glasses not long ago, right? That's kind of like one of those moments in time that you might have felt like, oh yeah, I'm falling a bit here, right?
Those glasses had broken so these are new glasses now.
I love
But
them, by
but
the
the
way.
pair, thank you. The pair that I had before had actually broken like a long time before I posted that photo, because I was like, no, I love these glasses. I don't want them to be broken. And so I kept trying to repair them. And then it got pretty bad. It was like tape and glue.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and finally it was like, okay, you know what? Message received. These glasses have had their time. It's time to get some new glasses. And thankfully I had an old stash of contacts that still, were the right prescription. And it's just, that's, I think also just a metaphor for life. Sometimes we have to go, okay, it's time to change. And it's time for something to move out and bring something else new in. So that's really what was going on in that moment.
Yeah, and then you just took a challenge. It looked like what was it, and you took the picture. Okay, what was that about?
There's right now there's a post that a lot of women are posting online and tagging other women all about self-love, and just take a black and white photo of yourself, and it has to do with self-love and women empowerment and things like that, and just showing up as you are. And so that was a photo I just took. I said, okay, here I am. Wasn't planning on taking a photo, but we're gonna do this.
I love it. And that's a great black and white photo. So
Thanks.
Now I have to say, you have merchandise. You have cool stuff, don't you?
I do. I started a store over on Teespring, and that is the mug. And you know what? I don't have my phone in here with me, but I also have the phone case. It's really, I love how it is. I've got the sun right on the corner of the back of the phone case. You get t-shirts. I've even got like a wall covering I haven't put up myself yet. Got all sorts of things on there. Yeah.
How fun is that? So, and I was looking through, and I'm like, oh yes, because I did get to be on your show last year, and I love the way that you also celebrate your guests, and you continue to do that, because that's your giving nature, and I want to recognize that, because there's a lot of people that watch this show that have shows, and we can learn from each other, and you really do. You are one that celebrates others. And it's not just when someone's coming on, it can be after, and all of a sudden, randomly, boom, you're hearing from Kim saying, oh yes, this or that. And that in itself, again, is another going over and above and celebrating. And we need to be doing more and more and more of that right this minute, right now, so that person that maybe is on your heart, and you're thinking, man, I've been thinking about this person, then
yes,
don't look at it like, okay, that was 2019 or whatever. It's a celebration now, and contact that person, maybe have a virtual cup of coffee, or something, right, and have those moments together.
I think it's so important to take time to see our friends, to hear our friends, to celebrate each other. The thing that comes up that I know, can be a little trap for people is sometimes going, what, if I hear people talk about, if someone else is doing, if I celebrate someone else, then that must mean something about I'm not doing so well. I hope this is making sense. I'm kind of fumbling for this because I don't really want to say this, and yet I feel there's the need to say it right now. I think it's so important to celebrate each other, because none of us are in competition with each other.
Right.
That's the point that I'm getting at. And so I know that
mic drop. Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. 100%. That is why this show is set up the way it is. It is about celebrating the person that is on, that is the hero of the day, the service hero of the day. And because there is plenty of love and energy and wonderful, like you are loved, inspiration, meditation, visual journey. We are all on our hero's journey, our own hero's journey, to find ourselves and then to be there for others. And my hero's superpower is love. So, I resonate with you are loved. And and then I love this, positive minded people. And so these are a couple of your books, huh?
Yeah. And to me, I mean, this is where the self-love comes in. The more and more you have love and compassion for yourself, it's easier to go, that's right. I can celebrate everybody and myself, because there's never, ever, ever going to be another Tamara Hunter. Ever. There's never ever going to be another Helene Wilson or Cara Berry or Betty Wilder, or Sherry McQueen. There's never, ever, ever going to be another one of you. And so the more and more you can own that and love that and be that, and like really allow yourself to relax into that and feel that, it becomes easier to celebrate yourself, and then of course celebrate others. And so, and it's fun. It's fun. So yeah, thank you, Tamara.
I love it. I love it. And then and I'm gonna share this picture too, because oh my goodness, I was just loving this.
Oh, that is so long ago. That's when I first started, Tamara, with the show.
I love to find these things. They're like treasures. And I mean, this is a picture of a girl. This is a picture of a girl with her own, I think it's podcast or show or something,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's precious. That is absolutely precious.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. It was definitely so many nerves. And it's so interesting when again, we're always going to be a work in progress, regardless of how, wherever you are today, how awesome you're doing today, there's always going to be something more to learn or grow into, to move through, all of that. And so it was interesting because I was I felt, like I was in a really good place when I started that show. And little did I know that starting a show meant, there were going to be additional things to learn about feeling confident and, releasing the nerves and standing in your power and all of that. Like, so all these extra things start to come into your mind. And that's where you can start to fall into those little traps of second guessing and self-doubt and all of this stuff. And those are just your next growth moments, your next growth edge. And so those aren't moments to quit unless you do the work and you find, okay, maybe it's time to move in a different direction. But if that's not the case, then don't quit. Don't sabotage yourself and stop that growth, because you're moving into something new. And so that was, that represents some of that for me.
I love it. And this is one of the ones that you just had. I believe it was Keith had put it up. 90% of life is about attitude. The rest is window dressing. And, our attitude it's like what you were saying about the things that you learn, like with this picture of you and right here, it's like, okay, how you thought okay, yeah, this is the picture of a girl with the internet radio show. There it is, internet radio show, yay! And okay, now then all of a sudden, and so you're up here in that attitude and feeling really great, and then all of a sudden the roller coaster starts, and our attitude comes through. Window dressings, I love that. So our attitude is going to come through. Yet that's where being in the moment and being real with the moment and being authentic with the moment.
Yeah.
What what about those days when you have a show to do and that attitude needs more window dressing than maybe is there?
You mean those days you're not feeling like you want to do a show and yet you got one scheduled anyway?
Yeah.
Those days. Those are the days. I know those days. Those days are the days where, so I also have I did a lot of theater. I did singing, I did dancing, show choir, and all of that when I was a kid. So I also know how to kick into, okay, we're not going to, we put the personal life back there because we've got a show to do. The show must go on. And so it's kind of like flipping off a switch, and you've got to be in host mode, or, whatever, so there's that part. There's the mindset piece where I say, I'm turning this off and I'm turning this on. But there's also the energy piece where I start, I go, okay, yes, I'm feeling this and it's going to be okay. And so I start to do that energy work to turn the tide, to raise the vibration. And just, it's happened so many times. It doesn't happen every time, but it has happened, a good handful of times over the last 5 years that I know it's going to be okay. And I know, we can still have an amazing show, even if, 5 minutes before going live, I wasn't feeling my best. And the more and more that I do my own work, the fewer and fewer I have times like that too. So it's all part of it. I really think it's helpful to, not be like so hard on yours. And I learned, because I have had a tendency to be so hard on myself. So you have to get to that space where you can stop being so hard on yourself and allow yourself to be. You're human. You're this spiritual being having that human experience. It's okay. Right. It's okay.
Right. Well, actually, Kara is just asking, do you find that doing your show can get you back in alignment? And that's what I was actually going to say, that what I experience oftentimes is like, if I feel that way before a show and do all, because I also did theater and stuff, and so feeling comfortable. I'm sure many of us that are doing this most likely had something like that in our background, because it feels comfortable, right? However, we are having this human experience. I will tell you, yes, it's interesting how when you show up and then you have this energy, and then the energy of your guests and the energy of those that show up. And I will also say that it always seems that the people that show up to comment are the ones that I need to hear from, and they have exactly what I needed to, yes, get me back into a good alignment. Yes, to get me back into a good place. And so I see it as a gift, again, that we get to have these experiences for all of us involved, because that's really what it's all about. I love
that, Tamara. Yes. And that's an excellent question, Kara. Yes, I do find that doing the show and connecting with the guests, connecting with the audience absolutely has the ability to help me shift my vibration, my energy too. So, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for that when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, I do. Yeah. Serving and following your calling, and see the calling that I'm involved with actually is much bigger than me, in that it's the buddies, and the nonprofit. And so then this show supports, the buddies and others, to see that, yes, I do want to live. Look at how many wonderful things that are going on. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna, before we not lose, but time just flies when you're having a lot of fun, and it's flying right now. And before it flies completely away, I want to give you an opportunity, Kim, to be front and center. I'm going to take myself down from the line for a moment. I'm going to let you give us a nugget, some inspirational thought, something that you're feeling like, take a moment and just share with us, and then I'll come back, and then we will close out the show. Okay.
Thank you, Tamara. That's so nice. Okay. Okay. So as Tamara was saying that, what came to mind is I would love to pull a card. This is something I love to do. And it's a way that also shows the energy that we're in, the energy that we have been connecting with. And so for right now in this moment, right, Tamara and I have been connecting, having the conversation that we've been having. Excuse me, my throat all of a sudden. There's nothing wrong here. I'm excited to speak. I'm excited to be in this energy with all of you. And connecting with all of those who are with us live, and the energy of all those who will be with us on the replay. We have generated momentum here. We're in an awesome space. Can you feel it? What does it feel like for you? It feels to me, it feels like this pure, clean love energy. That's what it feels like. And it looks to me kind of like, I want to talk about this because this stuff can help us if you're in a space of wanting to raise your vibration, of transition into a better feeling place. It looks to me like pink tourmaline. If you can kind of see this. It's kind of clear, but it's pretty and it's pink. And so this is what the energy of what our conversation today looks like and feels like for me. And when you've been in a space where you've been generating momentum, again, remember, we then connect to other things that are of like vibration. And so what I would love to do is I'm going to pull one of Louise Hay's How to Love Yourself cards, and let's see what message comes through to really enhance the conversation that we've had today. This is something that we're doing over on the creating 2020 vision shows. And I periodically also do in the Every Day is a New Day group and on my YouTube channel. I will read excerpts from books and then pull cards because it's fun. It's fun to really immerse yourself in something that feels good, that's inspirational and uplifting, and see how the energy connects with new information we integrate into something. So let's see what added message wants to come through. And all of these messages are really good, but let's see specifically what message wants to come through for everybody who views today's video. Okay, there was one that started to pop out, and let's see okay, there we go. So this happens all the time. We have 3. So the first one that came out is, I am open and receptive to all good. The back of it says, I deserve to live in an atmosphere of joy and acceptance. So if any of these resonate with you, then just allow yourself to take that in. The next one is, my inner world is peaceful. The back of it says, it is safe for me to look within. Each time I look deeper into myself, I will find incredibly beautiful treasures. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And that totally speaks to our conversation today for sure. And the last one is, to me, this is what it all comes down to. I trust myself and the process of life. The process of life. What if we think about this moment in time, whatever you're experiencing, as a process? This is temporary. And I know when we're in something that we don't like to experience, it feels like it's taking forever and it's lasting an eternity, right? But you already know that it's not, because you know you've been through other things in life that maybe had low moments, and then you went into a higher moment, right? And then maybe another low moment at some point, and then you shift into another higher moment. That's the process of life. Every day is truly a new day. Every day is a new day. There is always hope. There's always something beyond this moment. So that's why even when you're in an amazing, awesome, good moment, allow yourself to really feel that, receive that. You deserve that. This is your moment. No matter who else is with you enjoying the moment, it's also your moment. So that's why it's so important to take care of yourself, love yourself, allow yourself to receive the moment first, and then go, yeah, and I get to celebrate with all these other awesome people. And that's what I hear happening in the Chemo Buddies group. I want to read the back of this card too. So it says, I trust myself and the process of life. And the back of it says, the moment I am willing to change, it is amazing how the universe brings me what I need. Woo! The moment I am willing to change, it is amazing how the universe brings me what I need. That's that trust piece. So thank you, Tamara. That's what I wanted to share.
I love it. And Helene is saying, getting through the show tonight is what, and then she's like, can you bring your cards?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
And so I am just so thrilled that we were able to have this time. And yes, as you were showing the pink tourmaline, and as you were talking about it, and then the cards that came out, and I'm thinking, absolutely, I'm feeling it too. I am absolutely feeling it too. And I believe that so many are. Let's see, my card today said, I trust that exploring my passions will reveal my purpose. Ironic hugs and love, Kim.
You were in the flow, Sherry. That's your confirmation. That's
absolutely
awesome.
I agree. She's amazing. Loving cards today. Loving the cards. Thank you. Yes. And so, I am so thrilled that you were able to join us today. Love it, love it, love it that you're going to be coming into the chat tonight with us in the closed group. And anybody else that wants to, it is Chemo Buddies, the number 4 Life Community. So you go to the Chemo Buddies for Life page here on Facebook, go to the group, go to community, and then ask to join. 2 things. Number 1, what takes place there stays there. And number 2, it's a safe place. It's a place where what we talk about stays there. And so then that way, and we monitor it, we watch it very closely. Good. So then that way it is a place of healing and acceptance and being able to be vulnerable and in the moment and know that you're safe to be able to do all of that and have some fun. We're going to have fun tonight. It's going to be like Mikey was saying, party. So until the party tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. I want to now close out today's show, which is hard to do because it's so much fun, but we are going to close out officially the July the 31st. Wow, the end of July. July the 31st, 2020. The Service Hero Show. 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And we have made the case. Yes, indeed. Kim O'Neill, you are a service hero. You do so much for so many, and you have for so long. Ever since I met you because you were serving. I met you because you volunteered. That is why we got to connect. And from that point, I have seen you serve in so many ways, giving and giving and giving, giving knowledge, giving education, giving your heart. You are truly a dear, loving service hero.
Thank you, Tamara. Every time you give, you receive. So I'm grateful and right back at you. You are a huge giver.
Well, thank you. Everybody, tonight is going to be fun and looking forward to it, and cannot wait to see who's going to show up tonight. And yes, I will be on camera, and I'll send you a link if you want to join us. That might be a bit of a round robin, but you're welcome to come on, Kim, if you'd like. And let's have some fun tonight. And then tomorrow we have a nominated service hero. I am very excited about it. Nancy Matthews will be tomorrow's service hero. All right. See you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.